What? What is going on? What is going on, everybody? It's Friday night live stream here. Tim with Volatility Trading. How we doing tonight? I can't believe I just said yeah, like I'm some kind of weirdo or something. But I was actually just setting up something that I had set up, but I didn't save it. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of fun as I kind of talk through this, as well as entertain, as well as do the stream, as well as get this all set up, because that is what we do. Here, what the heck did the spy do at the end of the day there? I just noticed that. I left around 11 o'clock this morning, and it was like as this was happening, and I was like, oh, looks like we're going for those lows from yesterday, and if you go to the daily, if you got below those, it was starting to look pretty bad. It was looking like at least a 364-ish touch, but yeah, as well as. I am such a good speaker. I had very good parents that raised me very well, and they taught me everything I know. So, as you guys hit that like button on the way in, I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to pull this up as I get it set up because let's see if we can figure this thing out. I need to add a screen. We're going to say drawy screen. Is that even a word? Can you drawy on something? Let's see. Let's add a display capture. Yeah, that should be about right? All right, let's see. Oh, it doesn't find it. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm drinking beer. Root beer. Okay. So, yeah. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Constantine? You know, I'm a little upset at the moment because what I had planned might not be able to work. I'm a little sad at the moment. I wonder if I can delete maybe a window capture. Is this possible? Can I? Ooh, maybe. Okay, so this might actually work. All right, hold on. Let's try that. Let's delete. Delete. I said delete. Where's the delete? There it is. Okay. All right. So we have to open up a new chart real quick. Sorry, I'll give you guys a little inside or what is it called? Behind the scenes action here. Let's load default. Oops. Don't do what I just did. There we go. Load default. All right, let's drag this baby nice and big. All right. And let's see what happens. Now if I come over here to OBS, window capture, okay. Let's see if we can't find the Tesla 2-minute. Okay. Now let's see what happens if I move it over here. Oh baby, it looks like it still works. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It looks, no, it's all there. Oh, it is a little cut off. Oh, that's because I gotta drag it down a little, maybe? Oh, well, I guess I can't do it over there. Okay, let's go down like this, and up like that, maybe? No, that didn't work. Bear with me for 1 second. I mean, that's going to be good enough for me. I'd rather it be good on that side and not this side. There we go. Okay. All right. I think we got this. Now let me add this over here to the Stream Deck so I can go back and forth. So let's do, we gotta come down here, OBS, scene, drag that there, drawy screen, and no, we don't want studio mode. No. Are these supposed to be programmed? Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's see what happens if I hit draw screen. Oh, yeah. Oops, that's the wrong one. Alrighty. Alright, so now what we need to do is recreate our full screen. Let's duplicate full screen, drawy screen. See, I'm doing all this live. What is lame? What's lame? No, you guys are lame. From my well? Yeah, you like the well. All right, let me get my hand in so it looks like this side. Ah! And my name's Timmy. Timmy's in the well. Justin killing it. 2 for 2 this week. Let's go. First 2 days back. Let's go. Okay. All right. So now on this one, we want to take this window capture. We're going to copy it. We're going to come over here. We're going to get rid of the display capture. Or actually, we're going to leave the display capture there. Paste duplicate. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we're just going to put it right over top of this guy. So we're going to have to adjust that just a little bit, huh? Alright, so maybe we will have to take that one off of there. We'll come up just a little bit. Maybe down a couple. Maybe up a couple. There we go. Get rid of this guy. Alright. Oh, no, let's go over just a little bit more so we got the little... maybe. Kinda. Come on, you can do it. Alright, let's just do it this way. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Almost done. There we go. Alright, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking it. Come down just a little. I think we got it. Oh, we got to bring the Stream Deck back up. You'd think this is something I would do, you know, before the stream starts, but, you know, I like to surprise you guys. I like to make you think that I'm actually prepared when I'm not. Alright. This a little smaller. What is it doing over there? Maybe it needs, it's waiting for me. Oh, I know why, because it's not all on the screen. There we go. There's that. No! You weren't supposed to do that, man. Come on, I just want to make you a little bit smaller. That's it. That's all. I wasn't even trying to do anything crazy. Oh, that might have actually worked. There we go. Okay, that works. Alright, then we gotta open this. Oh yeah, we in business. We're in business. Wish I could make this bigger, but it'll work. Let's see if it works. Nope. Son of a... It's not working because it's a window capture, not a screen capture. Well, this is a bummer, guys. No, you guys are lame. My root beer's not lame. He puts lotion in the basket when he's in the well. God. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, if you want your Friday to be complete as well as your weekend, you got to hit that like button. Let's get it. As we sit here and try to figure out how to make this work. Because apparently I cannot make it work. Here, I'll let you guys take a look at my one trade today while I still try to figure this out. What was the ticker? WTI? I actually, when I first got into this trade, I put my take profit at 42. And look at where this candle went. It went to 41. And as it was coming down on this candle here, it got below 50, and I was like, okay, I think we're going to get a decent little flush if we can get down through 40. So I just decided to move my order to 38. And I would have got filled at 42, and I didn't. And I told myself if it got back up and went back through 50, because it denied 50 twice before. So I figured if it tried to go back up through 50 again, the odds were it was going to try to make a run higher. And yeah, I was right. Unfortunately, we got a little greedy, and if we would have just kept our take profit where we wanted it, we would have got filled down there, and that would have been a decent trade. But nope, decided to give all the profits back. We had one trade for $1 today. What a beaut of a trade. Did not see anything else that tickled my fancy whatsoever. And so yeah, that was our one trade. And by 11 o'clock, everything was just so slow. It was like 11:30. The SPY was going down. There was just no signs of anything. I figured it being Friday, there wasn't going to be anything else. But David, had messaged me. He's like, "Yo, where are you at? There's some trades going on this afternoon." And I was like, yeah, sorry. I actually didn't even feel bad that I missed these trades because I got a lot of yard work done today. I was kind of happy, and it was nice out again today. So 2 days in a row, it was pretty nice out. So 2 days in a row, I did some yard work and actually enjoyed the weather. And yeah, but Ruby apparently was one of them. This was a nice one. Definitely would have played this. Looking at the chart, if we zoomed out, would have probably been looking for just that move up through like that 1350 area. And honestly, I didn't get to watch this live, so I don't really know what happened. But, I mean, you couldn't ask for much better. It went through 14 right to that 1420s area and just got rejected. It looks like it tried to go a little bit higher, but ultimately got a really nice pullback to about 1350. Dang, yeah, that would have been a good trade. And it even gave you a second opportunity as well. So if you would have got some of this one, pop back up. If I had leftovers, stopped out high of day, probably would have got back in. Same thing. Look at that, to the penny. 14.18 and then 15.18. So somebody had a thing for the 18s, shoving it back down, and then this thing, pretty much this was a fake out breakout, and then, I mean, that was just beautiful. That would have been a good trade. I think he said another, what was it, STKL. This one I told him when I looked at it I probably wouldn't have traded. Not really my kind of a trade. And the other one was kind of iffy about SIFI. I was iffy about SIFI. Definitely would have traded down here. Here, I don't know. And then here, this is probably a trade in here. I could see myself trading this up through $5 for sure, now that I'm looking at it on this chart. I was looking at it on my phone and on his chart. So his already small chart on my phone, it was kind of hard to see. But now that I'm looking at this, yeah, I definitely probably would have traded this one up through 5. So, yeah. So, I mean, I might have missed 2 trades, but it is what it is. Oh, no shares, Thomas? Ouchie, ouchie. Good evening, Lance. Good evening, David. IB, guys. Just got to save it up. Oh, you didn't have any on SIFI either? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm over here rubbing it in. I mean, at least I was doing yard work, right? So, I'll let you guys kind of take a gander at this. I'm going to take one more little stab at trying to make this work. I don't know how I can make it work if it's not detecting it's like not detecting it as a monitor, which is weird. I'd say maybe if I restarted OBS, because I don't think I had, or no, I did have this turned on, I think. Maybe. I don't remember. Should I chance it? I would have to disconnect from you guys and reconnect right away. I'm going to try it. Give me 1 sec here. I'm going to disconnect and then reconnect. So just stick with me for about, I don't know, probably take like 10, 15 seconds. Are we back? That was actually quicker than I thought. Let me know if that worked for you guys, just to make sure. Because now I can see if that will allow me to add a display. Let's see, display capture. Yeah, so it's still not showing it. I wonder why. It doesn't really make any sense to me. It's frustrating. Sweet. Thank you, Thomas. It didn't fix my issue. It's frustrating because it worked in Discord, but it's not working here. And I don't want to like I could technically stream it in Discord and then record that screen, but that would kind of defeat the purpose. Ooh, you know what? Might have just came up with an idea. Thinking quick on my feet here. Go to display settings. What if we got this monitor to mirror? Oh, but is it gonna duplicate? Is it gonna make 4 turn into 1 or 1 turn into 4? What if I click on 4, duplicate 1 and 4? Let's hope it's the way that I'm thinking. What happened? Nah, yep, see, it did it back. It did it the wrong way. It actually got rid of my chart. Alright, well, let's try 1 and 4. Yeah, it's like making that the primary. That's frustrating. It's making that the primary monitor. What if I swapped them? Oh, it won't even let me swap them. Oh, maybe. Apply. Now, what if we do it this way? This would be a real pain in the ass to do this every every Friday, but I mean, if it works, it might be. Nope, it still didn't do it. I wonder if it's because that one's like 1 and this one's 4. I've never actually dealt with this, so I don't know. I don't want to give away what it is either because I want it to kind of be a surprise. But I'm kind of annoyed that it's not working. But anyways, so let's go over this week. Last 7 days. We are green, but really nothing special. We started off the month with the bad trade there on AMTX. I'm pretty sure you guys all remember that one. If you follow along, we will go take a look at it. This is the one that just didn't work. It was a very frustrating trade. Just hit the pop, and then it started to grind. Looked like we had kind of fake out breakout up through 15, added to the backside, and pretty much said, you know, if it wants to reclaim 15 again, the odds are it's going to go high of day, which it did. But whether that was a fake out or not, that's 50-50. And I wasn't really willing to find out. I added here with the intention of that being the top. So if it wasn't, I wasn't about to let this go and possibly run up to like 16 and have to fight it at that point. But obviously, as you can see, we top ticked the crap out of that thing, and it made us look pretty bad. So that was a frustrating one. Then we had any notable ones in here. I mean, all my winning trades are pretty much, you know, they all look the same, right? You know, hit the top, cover down, you know, at the bottom of the pullback. And I always say the constant that is in every one of our trades, you know, you get the intense move up, you get the pullback, and then what it does after this pullback, you know, whether it bounces and then goes down, whether it bounces, you know, consolidates and then goes up, whether it just goes sideways. You don't know what it's going to do. But the one constant is this, right? The one constant, the intense move pullback. I mean, even if you look at AMTX, you know, it's a high probability play. It doesn't mean it's going to work every time, right? So get the intense move and not really a pullback. I mean, kind of a pullback, not really. Just starts to grind, consolidate up higher. And that's exactly what I don't want in a trade. So once I realize that's happening, I can take one more stab at it. And if it works, great. If it gives us this move, great. But if it wants to try to go higher, then I don't want nothing to do with it. And for every time you see a chart like this where it makes me look stupid, you know, I can find you a chart where it broke that high and then it parried again, you know, up through 16. So hindsight trading is always 20/20, but yeah, that was just an unfortunate one to start the month. But yeah, just going through like all my winners, you're going to see something very similar. This was kind of a break-even trade. I'm not really sure what I was doing on this. I think I was just getting greedy, you know, looking for down closer to here, and obviously didn't get it, so ended up playing the break-even there. Another classic one, right? This one actually all happened on the same candle. IMPX, intense move, came straight back down, pullback. Don't know what that one did afterwards. XL, same thing, right? Nice little pop, pullback. What it does after that, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of the same thing here, right? Intense move, pullback, and what it does after that, I don't know, right? It went higher. It didn't just give us a little bounce and then go lower. It ended up going higher. So we actually got in on that second bounce. GIK. I don't remember if this is. I don't remember what this was, but obviously it doesn't look right. The only thing I could think of is some. No, there's no way I had that much slippage. Maybe I was looking for it to be a fake break and then I realized it wasn't, so I got out and then I got back in. I don't know what happened here. I'd have to go back and review it. How did we end up on this trade? GIK ended up basically break even. It was all one trade. How does that work? Did I cut half maybe? Let's find out. So it looks like we got short 1361, 1435. So we had both of these, and then we covered half of it at that 1424. I wonder why. I wonder if I misclicked. I don't remember. But then we sold again, and then bye-bye. So let's see. So then we added those shares back. Maybe it like came down to our average or something. We didn't get any off, and it looked like it was going to go back higher. It just happened to all be on the same candle. So we took half off, but then realized we were wrong, so we added that half back. And then we were looking for it to come back down low. I don't know. That was all one trade, though. So we got in, added, took half off, added that half back, took the half off here, which actually looks like it was for a loss. But then we had the nice wash to get the rest out. So that was an interesting trade. I feel like that isn't how I would typically trade. Yo, Brad, what's poppin'? What's up, man? Hey, Kim, how you doing? Not much, just sitting here doing the Friday night live stream. I was trying to get something set up so I could do something cool, but I messed it up. I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit, but still trying to do all the normal stuff at the same time. Zishan, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing? All right, David. I think David's gone. He said, "Sup, everyone," then left. That's what he always does. He tries to make it seem like he's actually here, but he's not. He's probably the kind of father he's going to be too. Ooh, I'm just kidding. We all know that David's not going to be a bad father. Dude's amazing. All right, anything else notable in here? BBBY. This was actually a trade that happened after Drunk Tim is not back in business. Um, I haven't really just been feeling getting drunk lately. I don't know why. I've been so busy lately. I need a break, but I feel like getting drunk is just not a break. This BBBY trade, I remember it was a good trade. Let's find that chart. Anytime I trade after I'm done streaming, by the way, I do post it on Twitter. But oh, this isn't even the final chart. Yeah, here it is. So BBBY, we got in. We had a line off the daily. We actually got an ad, and then it tried to go higher and got rejected. We actually got another ad up there. So this was almost like a 1-2. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get into doing anyway. I've just been waiting for the opportunities. Like this week has just been crap. Haven't really had any good opportunities like this BBBY where something just runs on FOMO. It's just been so slow and grindy. Like nothing's been popping. And but yeah, so this one popped up. We got an entry, an ad, and then a fake out up through that line we had up through 32. Got rejected by 32. We hit it with another ad for the same amount. So it was basically a 1-1-1, but it's basically a 1-2 based off of where we got it. And then this was just a nice pullback all the way back down to that previous resistance where we took our final take profit there. Just a really good trade, and yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. Yeah, Zishan, newbies aren't allowed to talk right away. The people that can talk in there are people that have been around for a while, kind of, proved that they're there to stay. It's not just, we just don't let anybody talk because then that would probably get a little out of hand, if you know what I mean. Constantine, how many trades you take on average nowadays? I would say for a while it was pretty normal for me to be taking like 6 to 7 different tickers a day. Sometimes multiple trades on a ticker. But I would say I was trading, like if you go look at the titles of all my live streams, there's probably like 6 or 7 tickers in most of them since the beginning of the year. I've started to trade more with less size instead of looking to trade less with more size, if that makes sense. It allows the probability of numbers to play out a little bit better. It's really something Brian kind of hammered into my head. And so, yeah. Kim, Kim, I set you up so you could talk. You would never, every time I unmuted you, you never talked. So that's on you. That one's on you. Well, Zishan, come around the room, man. Stick in the Discord for a little bit. Let us get to know you. Oh, Kim, I distinctly remember unmuting you a few times and even telling you while you were chatting away in the Discord that you could talk. I did not trade eyes today. No, Danny. Welcome, by the way. I had no intentions of trading eyes. I don't do really well with those long plays. I watch them all the time, trying to get better at them, but I'm not very good at them. So, yeah, I know you're H-Town, but you don't. The people that can talk in the Discord are people that are there every day. They participate every day. Like that's what I'm talking about. Not just people that kind of pop in every once in a while. Yeah, Thomas was in there too. Kim, you were in the channel. I remember saying, Kim, I unmuted you, and then you just kind of kept talking in the chat. I remember telling you a few times. I just thought you didn't have a mic or just didn't want to talk. Any other notable trades here? GNUS. Let's see. GNUS. Where are you at? Is that this one? So this wasn't really any different of a trade, just probably took a little bit bigger size. That's why it was a little bit higher on the take profit there. And then that trade from today, YPF, that thing was just frustrating. Or this was yesterday. This was the one at lunchtime yesterday. Yeah, this is the one that annoyed me and why I went to lunch yesterday. We played it fine the first time, right? We had the plan, didn't work out, went high of day, cut it. Got back in, looking for that to be a fake out breakout. It came back down through that previous high here. So we jumped back in, looking for it to be a fake out breakout with the intention of cutting if it went high of day. Well, what don't you see right here? You don't see a cut. Instead, I ended up fighting it, and we ended up adding to this, right? So instead of us cutting here and then getting a brand new trade with a great average, now our average was at like 450, which was crap, and it kept bouncing right off of our average, and so we ended up not getting or having the patience to hold the full position there because our average was right there. And we ended up taking some off for a loss there, and then we ended up covering down here for what ended up being a much smaller loss than we had. But I was very upset with myself because we didn't follow our plan. And this was the first time I had done that in a while. FOMOing in the trades, but then following your plan is one thing. But to get into a trade and just not follow your plan is a whole nother thing. That's put yourself in timeout kind of thing. So that's what I did. I immediately stopped trading, got up, went to lunch, and I came back. I actually came back later that day, but I didn't really see anything to trade. And so, yeah, that was our week. 80% win rate. Didn't really make much. Remember, our goal per day has been $50 right now. So we made $79 on the entire week. That's pretty frustrating. So, but looking back to the beginning of the year until now, I can't really complain. Nice upward trajectory. About 76, a little over 76.5% win rate. Not that really matters. I'm not really I'm not really worried about the win rate. It's just nice to know that I'm somewhere up there. I know Brian is always talking about 80% win rate. I'll probably never hit that because there's a lot of losses I'll take, like that trade on YPF where I'll cut for a losing trade and then look to get back in, where he will hold through that and just go further unrealized red. Looking to make that a winning trade in the end. And that's because his risk tolerance is a lot higher than mine, right? I'd rather look for a good entry on a second trade, and then try to make that back and then some if possible, where he'll just, scale into a position and try to make it work from there. So his win percentage would obviously be higher than mine, which is perfectly acceptable when you look at how it's broken down. But in reality, a lot of these trades are just, the single entry trades. I mean, if you notice, like the trades that we get to scale into, there are bigger winners. And the market, like a lot of these trades, I just use smaller size because these aren't A+ setups right now. These aren't those big FOMO moves. They're not the ones where I feel really confident to start jumping in with any kind of, bigger size. So I've really just been kind of playing it safe, and I've just been kind of taking what it gives me. And yeah, these are a lot of smaller numbers, but as you can see, they do add up. But we are progressing forward, but unfortunately, I told myself, March 1st I was going to scale up, and I actually tried to, and that was the first day we ended up taking that bigger loss on AMTX, and that was only a 2-entry trade. So that immediately was just like, man, and then the rest of that day was kind of slow, and then just from like the week prior, it was kind of slow, and it's just the kind of market we're in right now. The market's a little choppy to the downside, and we're not really getting those big FOMO pushes right now. So it's kind of hard to really get excited about any one specific trade. That's why when we see those charts like BBBY pop up, we get really excited, right? We take a little bit more size because that's our A+ setup. That's our pocket aces. Where all of these other ones, they're like pocket 10s, pocket 9s, like, pocket jacks every once in a while, pocket jiggities, shout out to Brad Owen. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you still got to be responsible. You can't just say, okay, well, my A+ setup, I use this size. Well, for a C+ setup or C- setup, do I use the same size? I mean, no, I don't think so. I think you should downsize because it's not your A+ setup. You should be a little bit more cautious because it's not your A+ setup. I wish I could place a bet on any time someone ups their size, the first trade is a loss. It's so true. It's like the market knows. I'm going to try something while we're sitting here talking. Alright, let me try this one more time. Let's see if I stream. Join here. Screen. That's so weird that Discord can find this screen, but hold on, I'm trying to, but OBS cannot. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I think we might actually be onto something here, because I think it'll work. Where did that other chart go? Oh, there it is. This is totally going to work. Oh, there. There we go. Wrong thing. And if this works, it's kind of frustrating that I have to do it this way, but I mean, hey, if it works, right? Right? Alright. So window capture. We could probably delete that now, right? Let's add a display capture. Excuse me. Go to display. No, it's not that one. There we go. Let's see if it works. Oh, snap. It works. But the question is, oh, I guess I could crop it. Well, hold on, let me. I'm trying to adjust it on that screen. It's too funny. Oh yeah, that's right. I can do that. How do I do? Is it Alt? I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. On the fly. We got this. I should have figured this out beforehand, but we got it. Okay, let's make this bigger. Oh, baby. Here we go. Look at us go. Okay. All right, let's try this out. Boom. Okay, we're in business. All right. Sweet deal. Let's check this out. You guys want to see something pretty cool? Watch this. And delete that. So I have you here. Yeah, I got the. I finally got it to work. DT, what's up, man? By the way. All right. So it's really nothing crazy, but I mean, now I'll just try to show you guys. I bought this little monitor that you can see down here, and it's pretty cool because you can actually draw on it. It's a touchscreen. So I always have problems trying to like describe things every once in a while on these charts, like if we're just looking at these charts here, like if I want to try to describe something, like drawing this line and then trying to draw a trend line, it's like, yeah, it's not that hard to do. But then like if I want to like use circles and stuff like that, like I don't have that ability. I mean, I do, but it's a lot of clicking and it's like just weird. And I was like, you know what? I saw somebody else that did this, and I was like, why can't I do it? It's not that expensive, and it's something that I would use all the time. But all I have to do now is I would want to link a montage. Let me pop this out, put it right here, And then let's link it to this and to this. Okay. So now let's do the SPY. Let's save this, open. Or no, not open, save. Beautiful. All right. So now if I wanted to go, what was our trade today? WTI. I can go like that, and then I can be like, all right, so here's what I was looking at on this thing. And actually, it would be so much better if I could do it there, but because now I just thought, I guess I could hit this button, right? Where's the, here it is. Yeah. So I could be like, all right, you know, so I was looking to get in here, looking to, you know, get in there, sell here. Got a nice little supply zone down here. You got the top of the top here. Let's go change it to blue. We got the support here. Got a trend line there, trend line here, trend line there. We got X, O. X is going to come up here. O is going to come out and then straight up. And then we're going to buy at 11:30. We're going to sell at 15:30. And then we're going to take the money to the bank because we just won the game. So obviously that's not what I'm talking about, but I just thought it was a pretty cool little addition, you know, tax write-off to the channel. So yeah, I don't really know exactly how I want to incorporate it, but I feel like when I have it set up and on a much bigger desk where it's not actually in the way, because like right now it's completely in the way, it'll be much more useful. But yeah. What was that ticker that went crazy today? It was Isw. I don't remember now. What did I do? Oh, I didn't hit enter. Thomas, timeout for you. What time is it? Oh, wow. It's only... Man, I feel like I've been here for longer. So I was actually looking at Isw, and if you guys remember, the float rotated like way back here. What was the float on this? I don't even remember. It was like 12? Does anybody remember what the float was on this one? I would say it was like 12. But, I mean, this thing never really extended, but what did it do, right? It kept making these higher lows. I mean, you see the trend line. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. I mean, I could have drew it a little bit better, like underneath it, but I mean, you can't get a much better trend line. And then if you really want to look, like when it finally did try to find that resistance, even the resistance was going up. I mean, this squeeze, if you really look at it, was just a matter of time. Obviously, this is in hindsight, but when you really look to break down a chart, I mean, it's really pretty clear that this was kind of going to happen. I wouldn't say to this magnitude, where it ended up going, you know, all the way up here, but the fact that it made this squeeze, you know, right in this general area, like this move here, I can't really say I'm surprised by that. I feel like that was such an obvious squeeze. I mean, it wasn't even like a normal descending triangle where you would have something along the lines of like a straight across line, right? But then you have the upward projection of the bottom trend line here. It was literally, they were both moving up. So if there's any kind of a sign that a squeeze like that was going to happen, I definitely feel. And I know shorts ran out. I believe this was on SSR as well. Yep, it was on SSR. 13.2. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was low. So, I mean, if you look at the volume down here, there was one candle that was at 10.1 million. That almost rotated its full float in one candle. That's absolutely insane. And that was earlier in the day. This is, I mean, if you look at all of this, I mean, you're talking about the float rotating how many times there? That's a lot. I mean, it was probably rotated at least 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 times before that one candle. And then it rotated it in one candle. Obviously not rotated it, but it was pretty close. It was like 75, 80% of it, maybe actually more than that. But then just throughout the day, I think what did this finish up? 739 million. I mean, how many times is that? 739 million divided by 13. Well, we'll say 14 million just to play it safe. So it rotated its float 52 times. That is insane. Like, I can't even fathom the float rotating that many times. But what does that mean? What that means is every time somebody gets short, whether it's getting short here, whether it's getting short here, whether it's getting short here, 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 and this is assuming they literally top ticket, right? So the float rotated by this fifth candle. I mean, you're talking probably half of what it rotated throughout the day. So let's say 20 times. We'll say it rotated 20 times at this point. Well, at that point, what that means is every single short, when this thing broke high of day right here, right? When that thing broke high of day and started to go, squeeze, make that nice little squeeze, it means that every single one of these shorts, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, every time people got short in like this area, this area, this area, this area, and possibly that area, every time they got short there, all of those shorts are underwater, right? So that's the first part that would create a squeeze, is knowing that the float's completely rotated, which means every person that has traded that ticker at that point in day to the short side is now completely underwater. Every single one of them. They have to be, right? What it also means is that every single long position, let's see if we can get rid of most of these. So every person that went long, I don't want to get rid of the trend line. I mean, I guess I got to redraw, but so let's go to green here. Now let's say people, the people that were, bought in long down here, say the people that got long here, here, and then there's a trend line that formed here, right? So people start to see that. So when it starts to come back down to the trend line, some people probably piled in here. They're probably piling in all along here, seeing that it's making higher lows, higher lows. It's holding this trend line that we had down here, right? It's holding that. So now what we also know, when this breakout happens right here, right? Now that this breakout is happening, the longs that are in this, because the float has rotated so many times, every single one of these longs we know are in the green, right? They're all in the green. And what are they looking for, right? They're looking for this squeeze to happen. They want this squeeze to happen. So the odds are they're not going to be selling their position as it finally starts to squeeze. So you have a combination of two things that are very deadly in a float rotated stock. And I had no intentions of turning this into a float rotation discussion, but this chart on Isw was a perfect example of it happening. When a float rotates over and over again, you basically have every single person that is short in the ticker underwater when it finally makes that breakout right here. You also have every long in the money. So when this starts to squeeze, that's all they want to do is make this thing go higher. All the longs want in, all the shorts want out, and what's it do? It makes it squeeze, right? So by making it squeeze like that, I mean, you can see it, like it kind of made its gradual move, and then it finally, I mean, look at the move it made right here, right? I mean, you can actually just draw it just like that. So you have your trend line, it's just following it, and then boom, it was like straight up, right? Get a small little pullback from the people that were long, probably saying, okay, this is a good spot to take profit, whatever. I mean, what was this at? $7. So maybe they saw the $7 there and they were happy with that. So they started taking some profit. You might even get some short sellers starting to pile back in here looking for this to come back down. Whether it's people that didn't cover, whether it's people adding to their position, whatever it is, right? So you have some more shorts piling in here. Let's actually make that a nice little red line, right? You got shorts piling back in, looking for this thing to drop. You got your previous resistance down here, so they're probably looking for that. You had VWAP at the time all the way down here. There's a lot of different things that short sellers look at. But what happens, right? What happens now? Now it comes back up and breaks that high again. And now what happens? Look at what that thing did, right? So this was kind of a move, right? This is kind of a move, right? Boom. Get a nice little pullback, and then starts to curl back up, and then look what happens. The straight up squeeze, right? That was the squeeze that everyone that sold here, this is the squeeze that they really wanted. But that's where, the diamond hands come into play. That's where the patience pays off. So some people ended up selling in here that were really wanting that move, but they realized it wasn't just going straight there. They got a little impatient, sold. More short sellers probably piled in here, realized that right when it broke here, that if it broke there, it was probably going to do exactly what it did. And again, when it breaks this area, anyone that was short down here, 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 all of those shorts, when it breaks that area, are underwater. They have to be. All of the longs that got in here, 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 even ones that bought this pullback, they're all in the money. They're all looking for the same thing. Well, the shorts obviously are looking to get out at that point because they know that they're like, if you don't know when it broke out here, like if we delete all of this, if you can't tell as a short seller when it broke this area here that you're not in a short squeeze, if you don't know what float rotation is, you don't know what a short squeeze is, you don't know what any of those things are, then you should not be shorting a stock, period, because you don't understand the risks of these low floats rotating their float. But any of the shorts that are getting short, taking stabs like here, I mean, there's money to be made, right? If you're a scalper, these are good scalp opportunities, right? Because you're going to get a squeeze, and that a stock's not just going to go straight up. You're going to get some kind of a pullback from the people that do want to sell, from where the short sellers want to try to pile back in. So there is opportunity, and this is one of those windows of opportunity. However, you're not always going to get those. Sometimes you're going to get that move, and it looks like it happened right here. If you look real close, you can see that there's let me try to zoom in on it actually. Go back to pointer. Scroll over. All right. So if you look on the way up here, give me my drawer. You can see there's a topping candle here, and it looks like it came all the way back down to here. So, like here, you have a top, and then it tried to, come down a little bit, but it didn't. It ended up going higher. But what I'm getting at is there are windows of opportunity. So when it went back through this high, and it started the squeeze, it tried to stop here, it came down, and then went higher. However, like I was saying, at least here you got a pretty good time, it almost looked like a descending triangle until it wasn't, where it gave you chances to get out. It gave you chances to get out here at like under $6 repeatedly. It kept trying to get under 6 and failing, and it kept getting bought up and ended up going higher. But the people that get stuck in these and make it squeeze even higher are the ones that try to get in here, and they don't take it here because they're looking for it to come back down, into this area, and then it goes higher, and they're the ones that end up getting caught, right? And then they start, trying to add, doesn't come down, add, comes down, and then when it goes higher, they end up getting out, right? And then they're the ones that end up top ticking the thing. Like, I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me in the past, and it still happens every once in a while. Like, you're still going to top tick things. It's just kind of how things work. But the overall crazy thing is just the people that don't necessarily understand the float rotation. It's such an easy concept once you do understand it, and a lot of people just don't understand it. So it's really something to pay attention to. Anytime you see a low float with a ton of volume, like Isw, you really got to start to pay attention to the float. Where did these crosshairs come from? Get rid of those. There we go. But yeah, does anybody have any actual questions about float rotation in general? Because it is a very important topic. There's a reason people always ask me, did you short something like this, and it's like, are you crazy? Like that's the first thought in my head. But then I have to step back and realize when I first started, I would have, if somebody asked me if I shorted it, I would have pulled it up and I've been like, oh man, that would have been a great short opportunity, right? Like just looking up here, just looking for, just looking at the chart in hindsight, I would have been like, oh man, yeah, that would have been great. But no, I didn't, kind of thing. But now I'll tell you, it was on SSR. It rotated its float, basically at the bell. I think at the bell, it had already come close to rotating its float. And then for all the volume to come in like it did, I remember it was like by 10 o'clock, I was like, dang, this thing's rotated its float a couple times. So at that point, I have no interest in shorting a stock that's rotating its float, whether it's at the lows or highs or whatever, because it has this potential. Because once everyone gets underwater that's short, and once all the longs are in the money, all those longs want more money, and all those shorts have to cover. So you're going to get a squeeze. But it doesn't always happen this way, right? This is usually imminent on ones that happen like this, but for every chart that does this, there's probably 10 charts that will make this break right here. They will come up and they will do, geez, that is a big line. They will make these same lines, right? And then it will come up to here, like right here, and this thing will get rejected back through. And then, it'll end up doing whatever and dying the rest of the day. For every chart, like Isw, there's probably, I would say like 7, 8, 9, 10 charts. So I'd say like probably at least like 7 to 1 where these fail, right? Because everyone wants this to happen. But if it happened every single time, don't you think everyone would just get long all the time and no one would short it every single time? But the reason the shorts end up getting caught and they end up getting squeezed is because of those other 7 times where they got paid, right? But if they don't manage their risk properly, those 7 times that it did work, they're going to give all that back and possibly some more, depending on how they manage the risk. Because again, this doesn't this doesn't have to stop at 10. It doesn't have to stop there. This thing could have went to 20. I mean, we've seen crazy moves. Tilray, Hunt, Dries. All of those moves that just seem like they weren't going to stop. GME, AMC, KOSS. Like we've seen that it's possible. And like one of those companies, BlackBerry, that's a huge company, and it was still moving the way that it did. Though, like any stock can really do it. It doesn't have to rotate its float. It doesn't have to be a low float. It doesn't have to do anything. Like stocks are irrational. Stocks will do what they want to do. If more buyers show up than sellers, the stock's going to go up. If more sellers show up than buyers, the stock's going to go down. If there's equal amounts of buyers and sellers, the stock's going to chop sideways. That's what the market does. So on any given day, tomorrow or yesterday, on like a Thursday or whenever day, it doesn't really matter, another day that the market is open, Isw, the same exact chart, same exact scenario, same everything, but when it gets to this point, could do the exact opposite and come down and fade the rest of the day. That's the beauty of it. And believe it or not, if you haven't went and watched the 4-part series of Mark Douglas Trading in the Zone workshop on my channel. It's on my channel. Go find it. It's in the educational section, the playlist. He has a example, and that example is, say at this point, or let's actually backtrack. Let's draw these trend lines again right here. Say at this point, somebody's in a bigwig's office, and he's saying, I just went long at $4 right here, and I just bought the bottom of that trend line because this thing is imminently going to squeeze. Like he sees this chart happening in his head. Like he sees the higher lows, he sees the higher highs, he sees everything happening, and he says, I'm getting long, the float's rotated a bunch of times, all the shorts are underwater, this thing's going to squeeze. And he's telling this to his buddy. He's in his office during the day. He's like, I'm just counting, I'm sitting here eating lunch. It's 12 o'clock. I'm just waiting for this thing to go. And I'm going to sell up at $10, right? That's what he's telling this guy. Well, this guy has a lot of money, right? And he says to the guy, so you bought in at $4. He says, yes. You think it's going to $10? Yes. And he says, all right. Picks up the phone. Calls his broker. EYES put as much as you have to get it back down under 4. Click. What's it really going to take in terms of money for one guy to step in, say here, let's say it's $6. So I think $6 is right there. Say like a key area, right? Just jump in and just shove it down over and over and over again, and then ride the ladder. When it comes down to here and they try to buy it back up, just shove it down over and over, and then bring it down and then shove it over and over. Like, what do you think they were talking about with GME and AMC when they talk about laddering it down? This is what they do. They short, they hammer it down, they get it to a level, they let you think you're going to buy it back up, and then they just hammer it down again. And this could just be one guy. Now imagine like institutions and prop firms and like all these, big hedge funds and all these guys doing this all at the same time. Imagine how many of them are working together. You really think that they can't step in with the amount of money they have and really just pick a spot on most of these charts on a daily basis and say, this is what we're going to make the chart look like. This is what the chart is going to look like. And then this is how we make money. What Mark Douglas does is explains how that can, in theory, happen, how it probably does happen, and how it could just be one person. That one person that was in the office with that guy who was cocky that bought down here at $4 and, was saying to this bigwig that it's definitely going to squeeze up to $10, can pick up the phone and say, no, it's not. Just because of that one conversation one guy had with one other guy that can possibly trade the stock market. That can happen. It can. And what I'm getting at here is if more buyers sell up as this happens, it's going to squeeze. If more sellers show up than buyers at, say, this key area that happened here, this doesn't go back up to the highs. It goes down like this, right? If more sellers show up at that key level, it goes down. It's how the market works. There's buyers or sellers. Whatever way the imbalance is the way the price goes, right? You have all these technical indicators. You have all these, level 2 time and sales, 9 EMA, VWAP, Bollinger Bands, you name it. You have all of these different things to pay attention to, and none of them matter. None of them really actually matter, because what really matters in the end is how many buyers are there and how many sellers are there. And that's where reading the price action comes in. When you see this getting shoved down, what's happening, right? Look how many times it hits that same area and gets bought up. That's what you should be looking for. It shouldn't be, oh, look, the 9's coming up, it's crossing the 20, the Bollinger Bands are here, the VWAP's in the middle, you got the alligator indicators making an alligator face, and, whatever. None of that stuff matters. None of it matters. Like, when you really boil it down, none of that stuff matters. All that matters is the fact that this tried to go under that area, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then it went higher. It got bought up each time. What's that tell you? The price obviously doesn't want to go below that area. Does it matter where VWAP's at that point? Does it matter this trend line here, this trend line here? Does it matter what trend line's forming? No. All that matters is that the price doesn't want to go below that level because somebody is stepping in and buying the shares there. At that point, none of that other crap matters. And this specifically applies, what I'm getting at here is with float rotation. When you rotate the float, all that technical stuff just goes out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. It's who showed up. Is there more buyers or is there more sellers? That's what it boils down to. So when you see this move happen here, then what? Right? It came down. It actually came down, pretty much retested that level. Well, now what? Is this just a big pullback before it rips again? I don't know. Are they waiting for power hour to try to rip it again? That's kind of what it looks like they tried to do, right? But guess what? The buyers that made it go up to 10 over here, they didn't show up over here, right? They tried. Some of them were there. They were trying to make it go higher, but more sellers were there, right? Whether it was the people, and the problem with these late day runs is imagine the people that bought above this line. Here's the difference, right? Back here, when it broke that level, all the longs were making money, right? Back here, or up here, imagine all the people that bought that from, it looks like 880 all the way up to 10. Well, guess what? Now when this thing bounces, now when this thing gets up there, now when it gets up there again, what's up with these people? These guys aren't in the money anymore. What about the people that are, in right at this level? What about the people that are in right here and they see it keep bouncing off of that level? What do you think they're doing? Oh, crap, it's not getting back up there. I'm just going to take my small loss. Oh, crap, it's right at my average. I'm just going to take it break even. So now you have sellers that you didn't have back here, right? They weren't showing up back here because they were in the money. They wanted it to go higher. They felt comfortable. They were safe. They were in the money. Over here, they're not. They're underwater. They're not. They're underwater. They're not. They're break even underwater, right? So you have additional selling pressure. And then on top of that, if you don't have the same amount of buyers that were over here, over in this area, you're not going to get that upward thrust. You're not going to get that push through a key level. And then when you get the sellers piling in again and again and again, you get more short sellers to say, no, this thing's done. I don't think so. It's just going to keep bringing it down. And then that's when you get a big move like this at the end of the day, right? You get that big flush down. And why does that happen? That was that one final attempt. Look at it, right? You have your line here. That was that one final attempt, and it failed, right? So now all the people that were in here, all the people that were in here looking for this thing to actually break up the high of day, it's getting towards the end of the day. They realized it failed. It was a pretty intense move. They realized it wasn't going any higher, and everyone sold out all at once. Look at that volume bar. Everybody sold out all at once, and then it just trickled the rest of the day, right? Because nobody was interested anymore. After that big candle, nobody's interested anymore. So what happens? The volume dies down, right? Look at the volume die down. And the price just kept dying down because who wants to buy a dying stock right before the open? Nobody, right? So if you got short anywhere in here, you're happy, right? If you're long anywhere in here, you better have got out on that candle because you're definitely not going to be happy unless you're looking to hold over the weekend for some miracle gap up, looking for this to be one of them crazy ones that goes to like $50. But the whole point of this was for you to understand how float rotation works and how it can affect the stock, and looking at how just technicals don't matter anymore. I mean, you can find technicals throughout an entire chart in hindsight as much as you want. I mean, some people will call this a bull flag, right? They'll look at it like that or whatever. Big move up, bull flag. People will say that this held they'll do stuff like that. They'll draw like random trend lines and they'll just be like, oh yeah, look, it was holding that trend line all day until it wasn't, right? And then they'll be it just whatever. None of that stuff matters when a float's rotated that much. Is there more buyers or is there more sellers? That's what it really comes down to. The alligator face. But okay, I actually got some pretty good use out of that. I actually enjoyed using that. That was actually pretty good. Crazy movement for their first FDA approval. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like the news, usually price is already factored in at that point. So those little pullbacks and breakouts you've highlighted just aren't steep enough to short as per your method. Now I can see why you've been holding to that. Yeah, and that's true. Even if we really want to look at it, like if we scroll in here a little bit, let's go just to the move itself. Look at these candles. If you really look at these candles, you'll see, especially the 9. And I've been telling everybody, everyone's like, what indicators you use. The white line here is VWAP. This blue line is the 9. So look how close the 9 sticks to this, right? The only actual intense move on this one was kind of up here at the top. But I would never short this anyway. It was SSR. It was float rotated a crap ton, and there's at no point in time would I ever want to try to short that. But if there ever was a candle on this chart to short, it was this top one. And even then, if I was short, it would have been on the candle before that, because I would never get short at the top of this candle, or even try to, because you can see, look at the wick on this candle before it. I would have been short on this pop here, you know, looking to get short somewhere in there. And then once this pullback failed, I probably still would have held it, seeing if it wanted to go higher, because at that point, if I'm starting there, that's only, you know, my starting position. I'm probably expecting it to go through 10 at that point, but it didn't, and it still was all still happening pretty quick. So I feel like that would have worked out on a normal occasion, but I would never even short something like that. But that is what I'm looking for. Man, I keep hitting that somehow. But if we go over to something like Ruby real quick, this, on the other hand, right, you're not dealing with any kind of float rotation. There we go. Let's get rid of this line. So here on Ruby, real quick, and then we'll start talking like giveaway and stuff. As you can see, this didn't really have too much volume all day, and then you get a spike of volume out of nowhere. Pretty good amount of volume, but nothing too crazy. What was the float on Ruby? Does anybody know? It's actually a good idea, Kim. Let me actually do that real quick while I also find the float for Ruby. I think it was actually a higher float. I want to say like 80. 80 something. Float checker. RUBY. Yeah, so I got, well, Yahoo says 36, Finviz says 73, TD Ameritrade says 73, Morningstar says 27, and Wall Street Journal says 32. So we'll just say like 50. But even so, I mean, if you're looking at the volume, there's nowhere that says anything about float rotation, right? You're not worried about that. Good idea, Kim. I actually just did that. Oops, I forgot to put the other quote in there. Alrighty. So here on Ruby, real quick, again, get the nice volume increase and you get the extended move. I would even say, like, if I was looking for the start of the move, I would probably say it was either here or here, like one of those two. Let me make that line just a little bigger. I mean, I would probably go with like there. But anyways, you get the pop. It goes through 14, right to 14.18, which is just beautiful. You're always looking for that pop through a $0.50 or a whole dollar, and it usually goes about 20 cents through that. That's usually just such a key area. The more and more I've watched Brian trade, the more and more I've learned that. And so you get short anywhere over 14. This thing pulls all the way back down to 13.50. I mean, that's just a beautiful trade. And then it gives you a bonus round. I mean, that's not really 50. I would say 50% of the move was somewhere in here, but I mean that's pretty darn close. So I would not be upset with that at all. Then it gives you round 2, goes right through 15, get in anywhere over 15, and then I mean, even if you take it on this first drop, that was another 60-70 cent drop, and it does try to go all the way back up towards high of day, right? What do I always say? What's the constant? The constant is, let's get this in nice blue color. The constant is the push up into the pullback. What it does after, like I said before, what it does after that pullback, the intense move into the pullback, what it does after that is 50-50, right? It could go sideways, it could go lower, it could go high of day, just like it does here, right? It's going to do one of those three things, right? It has to. It's either going to go high, low, or sideways. It's just what it does. However, it gives us that second move. So get in anywhere over 15. What do you see? Intense move, pullback. What it does after that pullback, we don't know, right? You can see it actually goes all the way back up and closes towards the highs, right? And then that's where the next candle opens, but then it flushes down, right? What it does after this intense move into the pullback, right? That pullback right there, what it does after that is 50-50, right? It's 50-50. I don't know, I just wanted to draw for a sec. But that's my point. If you look at all of my trades, you'll see the same thing. You see an intense move, you see a pullback. My entries are usually somewhere around there. My take profits are usually right around there. If I'm trying to scale out, you would see my last take profit, which is actually usually for a loss, either at my average or at the break of high of day. And again, intense move, probably get back in, take profits. What it does after that, this one actually failed. So if I was scaling out, probably would have ended up scaling, like taking my last one right there. Once it found a base, you can see it clearly found a base here, tried to work its way higher. It looks like it broke through 14, so that might have been what I was looking for. Probably would have had it up a little bit higher, to be honest, since it was leftovers, and probably would have tried to trail that down, and that would have been a really nice trail because it doesn't look like it ever actually jumps back up at any point. It just kind of faded. So, I mean, yeah, that's really all I got as far as that goes. But like, that's pretty much what my strategy is to a T. Just looking for those constants. All right, let me throw this back behind here. Actually, really happy with that. That actually worked out really well. All right, get my mouse back and stop streaming over here. I think that stopped streaming. I'm gonna just assume it did. Alrighty. Anybody here interested in the ISW giveaway? I guess I have to change my screen back too. Did that work? Yeah, okay. Doing if anybody's interested, ISW giveaway is for the team package. It's for 1 week. If not, we can just do our Wheel of Awesomeness. That's always fun. Anybody have any good plans for the weekend? In an ISW t-shirt? I do plan on doing that in the future. Just not quite there yet. I'm still getting everything situated with my situation. It's why I haven't really put out any extra videos. I've had a lot going on lately. Turn that off for now. I'm getting kind of hot. If nobody's interested in the ISW package, we're definitely still going to do the Wheel of Awesomeness. We always do the Wheel of Awesomeness. Let's just work our way up here. Got DT, we got Brad, we got Mama, we got Thomas. I know David was here, even though it was only for a second. We got Kim, Jason, Lance. We'll put Jag just so everybody knows it's yo. Justin was here. Zishan. I really appreciate you guys being here, by the way. Even though it's just a kind of review and just continue to learn together and kind of just go over what we go over pretty much on a weekly basis. I mean, that's really what this comes down to. It's just finding that, you know, level of confidence to really kind of keep things going and in the right direction. I mean, if you look at me a year ago, I feel like I'm a completely different person at this point. So, oh, Jeff was here. Did I like not? Oh yeah, his night was complete after he hit the like button. All right, Sammy's here. What is it? Oh, were you guys answering the float thing? Shin's here. Nice, nice. Are you saying put me in? If you've already won the giveaway. My desktop, that screwed my desktop up. Like all my stuff is it's like all messed up now. Sammy's won. I guess Shin has never won. There's only 7 links? I thought there was way more than that. GTT and WPG? I will. Hold on, give me 1 sec. Yeah, say I see 15, which usually means it's 16, because it's always 1 short. Thomas, what was your feather from this stream, if there was one? I'm curious. And that's the beauty of it. If I can make one little light bulb go off, or something that plants a seed that eventually sparks that light bulb that goes off, then I'm happy. Because that's really what this is all about. It's really to make everyone move forward, including myself. The float rotation? Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to talk about. I just never did, because I personally don't ever really trade like float rotation, but you know, it is important to just know about it. And it isn't. I've been paying a lot more attention to them now, just to possibly look at it on the long side. I just, you know, haven't quite got there yet. I'm not in that that house money like we always like to talk about. No, you've. Why do you want my autograph? You trying to like forge some checks or something? Well, good. I'm glad I could help. It's something that I've done a lot of research on, but haven't really had any reason to put any. I haven't put any use to it as of now, but it's no different than somebody that does a hobby and just kind of wants to learn the ins and outs of it, even though it's something they might not use. Yeah, just like I wish not to answer that. Hey, I kind of figured it out. I mean, I figured out how to use it. It's not exactly the way I originally thought it was going to. Also didn't think OBS would have an issue finding it, but apparently it did. All right. With that said, let's get this going. I'm ready to actually get out of here. I hope you all have a great weekend. I appreciate you stopping by. I really do. I always do. Yeah, that's really all I have. I really do appreciate you guys. I just want you to know that we're actually coming up close. That's something I haven't shown you guys. Oh yeah, let me look at those 2 symbols real quick. We're coming up to 3,000 subs. I'm actually happy about that. Let's see, what are we at? 2,844. It's crazy. I mean, I know I'm not a bigger channel, but I don't aim to be a bigger channel. I aim to be a channel where, you know, the people that put in the work themselves, do their own due diligence on a lot of things. You know, I'm not looking to be that person that's answering the beginner questions. I want you to go out and earn this. You need to be able to realize that this isn't going to be something that somebody just hands to you. It's never going to be that way. There's plenty of gurus out there promising that kind of stuff on YouTube. I don't need to even be close to one of them. The whole premise behind my channel was to be that guy that just is a straight shooter, gonna show you everything, be truthful, transparent the entire time. And the fact that I've even gotten this far it blows my mind. I never expected to get over 1,000 subs, to be completely honest. So I really do appreciate the support, and I do feel, unfortunately, when my size does start to go up, people are going to see that, and that's when the channel might actually start to really grow. And I really am hoping not to attract the wrong people, but I'm going to really honestly do my best to make it clear that I'm not here to attract those kind of people. We are the 10%. I am not here to make money off of the 90% like the 90% of YouTube does. So I just want you guys to know that as the people that are already here, and I just want you to know that because I appreciate you guys for already being here, and that I look forward to keep it the same as it always has been moving forward. So just wanted to say thank you in that way. Real quick, let me look at these two charts, and then we will spin that wheel. What was it? GTT. What am I looking for? Are you looking for like long term? This looks like crap. I would not ever touch this, long or short. I mean, how much lower can you go to the short side? And it looks really weak. Huge downward trend. So yeah, wouldn't touch that. WPG. Maybe a possible relief bounce. Some kind of like a dead cat bounce. Maybe back up to $5. But I don't know what the news is on this. This was clearly probably some kind of news somewhere back in here. Doesn't look very good. But again, I mean, how much lower can you go to the short side? And depending on what the news is, I mean, it's kind of like a one-to-one kind of play on a swing. Looking for maybe $2 up, risking $2 down. I would definitely be more interested in a long on this one. It's a really nice intense move. It is obviously, look at the move here. It was a lot smaller today. So this could be a setup for a nice little relief bounce, maybe 350, possibly up to 5 if it's a really good bounce. And you'd only be risking $2 down, right? It can only go to 0. So GTT I wouldn't touch at all. WPG, I would say that's a possible long there. Obviously, this is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence and make your trades on your own terms. With that said, I appreciate y'all being here. Have a great weekend. Who is going to be the awesome person of tonight? I wish you all the best. Here we go. It is... Oh, it just clicked over. Danny's probably not even here, but what was his last name? I got to scroll up to find him. Where's he at? Danny Quackenbush. Love it. Love it. Spy Chris, you didn't even tell me to put you in there. Zishan, you were so close. Come back next week, my man. Until Monday morning, guys, seriously, have a great weekend. If you do have any additional questions, leave them here on YouTube. Find me in the Discord. I always have the Discord open, so I'll be glad to help you out there. I will see you guys later. Peace.